Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One day, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma is drinking a nice sip of cold water on a hot day, as you do. And while he's sipping this cold water, he starts choking and he starts crying uncontrollably. He's asked, what happened? What was wrong? He says, as I sipped this cold water, I realized that the people in Jahannam, the people in the fire, all they will dream about is to have a sip of cold water. And he begins to recite. وَنَادَى أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ أَنْ أَفِيضُوا عَلَيْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ أَوْ مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ قال إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين. He says, he recites from Surah Al-A'raf, in which the inhabitants of the fire will call out to the people of paradise and say, please give us something from there, maybe even just pour some cold water onto us. And they will say, Allah has prohibited this for the disbelievers. This moment in which he remembers this verse, he remembers another verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَحِيلَ بَيْنَهُمْ وَبَيْنَ مَا يَشْتَهُونَ كَمَا فُعِلَ بِأَشْيَاعِهِمْ مِنْ قَبْلِ إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا فِي شَكٍّ مُرِيبٍ. That people of the fire, they will desire things, they'll want things, just a sip of water, a cold shower, a breath of fresh air, but they'll be blocked from having the things that they desire. Imagine you're going about your daily duties. You're driving the car, walking about, cooking food, visiting the park. But imagine that the little things in your daily life moved you and remind you of the Quran. Just like a sip of water, a cold sip of water, reminded Abdullah ibn Umar of the verses of the people standing in the fire. This relationship with the Quran, you can tell it's so vivid. The imagery is so real for them. The relationship is so real that they are constantly recalling verses of the Quran every moment, every time they sit, they stand, they move about. And this is the kind of relationship that you and I need to have with the Quran. That every movement and every moment of silence and every little moment in our day-to-day life reminds us of a name of Allah or reminds us of a verse of the Quran. This is how you remain connected to the Quran. Keep it at the front of your mind. Let it move you. Let it change you, let it transform you, as it brought this companion Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma to sob and cry over a sip of water because he was moved by the Quran. Jazakumullahu khairan wal afu minkum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.